We're live. Happy Sunday. Waiting for my dishwasher to quit. It's supposed to. It's at the end of its cycle, and it's supposed to be draining out right now. And I'm running just a smidge behind. The problem with the beagle is that she doesn't understand time, so she had to OUT. Hey Rick, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, I'm running just a couple minutes behind. The Beegs had to powder her nose about 10 minutes ago, and it's raining. It's literally raining cats and dogs out right now. So that was sort of unexpected. Like right before I came on to hang out with you guys. So you just have to give me just a minute. We'll let everybody get in here and get everything going. Get everybody going and get this stuff set up. See who all we got in so far. Greg Hart. Good morning, Greg. How are you? I'll be here in just a minute. I'll be getting it started. That, and I have to, here we go. Boy, it is raining. It's a mess here. It was nice yesterday. It was nice, 70 degrees. Now it's 45 and raining. And that dog does not enjoy the rain at all. Even with her brand new raincoat, she's still not enjoying the rain. Granny Graham, how are you? Tom's Food Factory. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Like I said, yeah, we had an unexpected, she had to unexpectedly needed to powder her nose about 10 minutes before this, and then I had to battle her in the rain. So, two things that neither one are fun. But let me grab some stuff. Let me get my coffee poured up. Get over here. We're using a Wagner griddle this morning again, because that's just how that just happens to work out that way. Rain's around noon here, and storm starting at 8 p.m. Yeah, you're pretty much where I am, so it's just going to be a day of rain and indoors, kind of getting some stuff done around here. I was just kind of doing chores this morning and hanging out. We need rain so bad here in Charleston, South Carolina. Is that where you're at, Greg? Let's see. Yeah, it's just been, and the thing of it is we were supposed to get this horrible storm that was supposed to be coming in, and I live right about at the edge of the Ohio Valley, and everything we were supposed to get is sort of kind of quit right as it got here. So we thought rain all day yesterday, and then when they said rain this morning, I didn't really take it too serious, and here we are. So let me grab a couple things. Like I said, running a couple minutes behind, and grab a couple things, and I'll be right back. There's leaves. It's I live right on the edge of a woods, and there are leaves everywhere in the yard still. We had a lot of wind this morning that blew out of the tree lines, and then the dog and I helped track that back in the house. So if you see the floor, there's a ton of leaves on there. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Today I'm doing buttermilk pancakes and some sausage patties. Nothing fancy, but the one thing about this is there's no sugar in it, other than the syrup that I'm, obligatorily going to put in on my pancakes, because I can't get away from syrup. But there's absolutely no sugar in this. Now there are carbs, there are all those other things that some people worry about, but There is not any sugar added to any of this stuff. I was kind of messing around with a pancake recipe a while back, and to kind of see what would happen if I didn't add sugar. And actually, I was pleasantly surprised that they came out really, really nice. And I'll just flash up my recipe for that real quick, if you guys can see that in my chicken scratch. But yeah, I was really surprised that these came out as well as they are. And I even ran them by the kids and some friends for breakfast, and they didn't notice that there wasn't any sugar in it. So I was pretty happy about that. We'll put that down there. The one thing I could not find this morning, which kind of threw me off too, is my recipe for my sausage. So I'm winging that this morning. And one thing I've come across that really helps out when making sausage is poultry seasoning. Everything that's in poultry seasoning that you need in sausage seasoning that you need is in poultry seasoning, pretty much. And for folks like me who don't keep around, like, say, rosemary and things like that, because I don't like rosemary. I don't even grow rosemary in my garden. This year I think I'm going to, so dehydrate for some people, but I'm not a rosemary person. So there's a little bit of rosemary in there. There's a little bit of thyme in there. Things that I don't normally keep around, but they're in poultry seasoning. And then what I'll do is I'll sprinkle a little bit of extra sage. There's sage in the poultry seasoning, of course. And then I'll sprinkle in some extra sage at the end when I mix it all together. And then I've got a nice sage seasoned sausage. Say that 3 times fast. That's tough. But anyway, got my coffee going. And I think what we're gonna do first is I'm just gonna melt off a little bit of butter, 2 tablespoons of butter, roughly. And let me just make sure you guys are in the frame. There we go. All right. I'm not seeing comments, so if you guys could hit the like button and let me know that you're in here. I've got some folks still here, not getting technical difficulties. That would be very much appreciated. So what I'm gonna do, this is for the butter. I'm just gonna melt this off real quick. All my little side containers are in the dishwasher this morning, but I didn't realize before. Thanks. Yeah, I just making sure it just all my comments went blank, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lose everything, especially after Thursday's debacle. I really making sure that it doesn't go south. We don't want a green screen again. And I still don't know why that happened. I still don't understand. I mean, I hit the button, but I know I probably hit the green screen button, but why it wouldn't go anywhere is completely beyond me. I really don't. Yeah, time's one of those things that it's in a lot of stuff, but like I said, I don't always put the poultry seasoning in there, but I'm just saying if you don't have a lot of the other stuff, you can replace it with poultry seasoning. I feel that way about it. Yeah, there's just some stuff that's like that. I'm going to drop this in the microwave real quick, just for about 10 seconds. I don't really want to have it too. I don't want to have it too hot. Like Commodore said, I don't want it too hot. Let's see. Bump that a couple times, just to kind of get it. There we go. Get it softened up. We'll set that here on the edge, in the middle. Let that finish up. I'm not liking how the microwave's doing that. I'll let that sit there, and I'll throw. There we go. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So anyway, we're gonna get that. Like I said, we're just gonna get our butter melted off to the side there. I'm gonna do everything here on the Wagner this morning. But yeah, let's get this going. So what we've got, I'm gonna drop my egg to the bottom. So I've got an egg right there. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, because I've noticed here, but eggs seem to be dropping in price. I know they're kind of, I always buy the brown eggs, the brown organic eggs, and I kind of pay a little bit more for those anyway, but they seem to be coming down in price quite a bit. So I've been pretty happy about that. Hey Rusty, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Rusty was doing his thing this morning. So then, okay, so I'm gonna put my egg on the bottom. I've got a little more than a cup of buttermilk, and I've left this sitting on the counter for about a half an hour. So it's half hour, 45 minutes. So it's pretty much at counter temperature, room temperature. So there's that. And then I'm gonna drop in, oh, that's food coloring. that would be bad. So anyway, so we're gonna drop in just a little bit, a few drops of vanilla extract. And that's where let's see, I'm gonna go a quarter teaspoon of that. Just a little more than a quarter teaspoon of the, there we go, quarter teaspoon of vanilla. And that's where your sugar replacement comes in. That's where a lot of it gets its flavor. I do that with my coffee a lot of times, and I do that with soda water, like my soda waters and things like that. I will add in vanilla or coconut to my spring water, like Perrier waters, things like that, and that gives it flavor. So then I've got a teaspoon of baking soda, and oh, I must put salt back. I'm doing one of those mornings. Let this coffee kick in. Let that coffee kick in. Ooh, where did I set my salt? Oh no. There it is. Oh, right in front of me. Okay, so then we need a teaspoon of salt, and that'll be your leavening, and it'll work good with that baking soda or buttermilk. Teaspoon of that, teaspoon of the, and let me see here. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Got our butters melted down well enough. I'll let that sit there for a second and kind of cool down. And the salt, I got my egg, and that's it. That's all she wrote. We'll get our flour in here. I'm gonna mix this. I'm just gonna whisk this up just a little bit as is, and then I'll slowly add in my flour to that. And then I'm gonna set that off to the side, and we're gonna let that marinate and kind of rest a minute while I throw the sausage together. So then we'll throw in, I got a cup of all-purpose flour, the King Arthur. King Arthur, if you're out there and you want to donate some flour my way, that'd be awesome. Because I go through quite a bit. Let's see. Radagast, how are you? Good morning. All kinds of folks in here. Granny Graham's here, Radagast here, Rick's here, Greg's here. Rusty Bob, hello. Good morning. I hope anybody, man, this weather, I hope somebody's got some halfway decent weather here this morning. Because it has just been, I watched the news again this morning, the national weather, and it is, I don't know, it's pretty rough out there for about everybody, it seems like. Throw that in. Oop. It's no fun if you don't make a mess, though. that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of that to the top and spread that around. Kind of give that a little buffer for this butter. It's kind of warm. I don't want to turn that into scrambled eggs, so sometimes I'll just give myself a little buffer on top with some flour to kind of keep that from getting in there too quick. So put these off to the side. And then there we go. That's all there is to that flour. That's all there is to the pancake batter. And no sugar, like I said. I think I'm gonna add another half. I know I need another half teaspoon of the vanilla, now that I'm thinking about it. That's one thing that's not on my thing. It's not on my recipe. And I remember when I did this last time that I had to go and add a teaspoon of vanilla to this. So, oh yeah, one more quarter. I can't count this morning. So there we go. So there's a teaspoon of vanilla. That seems like a lot, but it'll work out. Trust me. Because there's no sugar in here, so you want that kind of, that flavor in there. That sweet flavor. Sweet, sweet vanilla. There we go. There we go. And that's got a nice consistency. It's got a good consistency. It's nice and smooth. There's not a lot of lumping in it. And I'm gonna reuse my buttermilk cup, or this, because I like the pour spout. And my other one's in the dishwasher. I have two of them, but they're one's in there. So we'll rinse this out real quick. Get that out of the way. We're gonna reuse that because I'm gonna put the for when I pour my pancakes. There we go. There we go. It's got a nice consistency. If you guys can see that. Abraham, good morning. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the consistency is really good. It's not lumpy. There's no lumps. Not like when you make a regular pancake batter, it's always got kind of those lumps. The buttermilk seems to not have that. So we'll set that up here off to the side for a second. And we'll bring over the pork and kind of make some slots in that so that gets down in there real good. And what I've got in here, I've got a quarter teaspoon of poultry seasoning. I've got another quarter teaspoon of sage. I've got one full teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of garlic powder, quarter teaspoon of paprika, and 3/4 teaspoons of salt. So, and that's going to be our starter. I like sage in my sausage. Some people they're on the no sage camp, and I can see that. I mean, I get that. Sage isn't for everybody. Kind of like some people don't like cilantro, so they don't mess with cilantro too much. But we'll just throw that in there. That in there. I'll work that in with my hands. So put that off to the side. That over there. And we'll put that together. That smells good. And did I mention the paprika? Quarter teaspoon of paprika? Yeah. And there's a quarter teaspoon of paprika. See, you can sometimes people put like a little bit of liquid smoke in there, if you want that in there, or smoked paprika to kind of make up for their lack of brown sugar. Because I found, and I want to put some red pepper in here. I did forget that. So let me just toss that off to the side and get to my red pepper here. You gotta have the red pepper flakes. I knew I was forgetting something. But when I went to go pull my recipe this morning for my sausage, I couldn't find it. And that really, I tend to write a lot of my recipes down when I find stuff that works. And just do a few shakes. Seems like I'm putting a lot on there, but it doesn't come out very much in these little containers. That Pizza Hut donated that to me years ago. Thanks, Pizza Hut. Let's see. Is some Mojo? Tastes the best is some Mojo, yeah. Let's see. The thing with me, now we were just talking about like how some people like certain things and some people don't. I am not a fan of smoked paprika. Now I know a lot of people, that seems to be like the latest thing that people are, that seems to be something when I watch cooking shows that people are really starting to add or have been adding for the last couple years to stuff instead of regular paprika. But to me, it always tastes like barbecue sauce. So, smoked paprika to me, it has a barbecue flavor, and I usually pass on it. I've went through smoked paprika. I did buy a container of it once and gave it a day in court, but I just could not. I couldn't do it. So there we go. And this stuff was frozen about an hour ago, so I don't need to chill that. Normally we'd do a chill on that, but we don't need to today. Set that right there. And I think that's everything. I think we're good to go. Other than I need to grab a plate and a fork, because this is going to be... Good morning, Val. How are you? Good to see you. Glad you could show up. We're just going to we'll just do a quick breakfast here this morning. I just wanted to try out doing some weekend stuff this weekend and see how Sundays would go. And my coffee. Ming's usually here during a lot of my lives, and when I make coffee, Ming is one of those. She likes the flavored coffees, which I do like flavored coffee, but she was here for about, almost 2 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks of flavored coffee, and the last 2 mornings, it's just been my regular Maxwell House black coffee with maybe a little splash of milk in it, and that's been it's kind of nice to just have some regular black coffee with a splash of milk in it, other than Starbucks and all these different ones, something flavored like this or something flavored like that. Let's see. So we got that's ready to go. So we got that. Kind of clean that top. I like to work clean as I go. Let's see. But, oh, Jay Justice, what's up, pal? How are you? Reminds me of overpowering smell of fighting wildfires in the Sagelands back in the day. Interesting fact, I was once a certified wildfire safety control person. Back years and years and years ago. Long time ago. Yeah, I was certified for a few years to do that. Let me see, yeah. Let's see if he's great. James. Yeah, just catching up. I'm just kind of catching up on the comments here, because I have my back to the monitor today. I have it. Some days I can fit it over on the other side, but I've had some stuff I've been doing in the kitchen. I made a big batch of barbecue sauce on what day was that? On Friday, and I was canning that up. So I kind of got my kitchen, the stuff I needed to do that's still in here from the other day. So, and I've never given you guys much of the tour on here, but growing up, my mother made me eat cerebral. That must be a that must be a spell check thing. My son-in-law and my grand are firefighters. Oh, neat. Lee, what's up? Smoking Bears. Sorry, didn't mean to use your real name. Let's see. Yeah. So Lee's daughter did a video this morning about praying to the ranch dressing gods. That was a little beyond me. I'm not a fan of ranch. Ranch is one of those things that I can tolerate it, but my kids really turn me off on ranch. They put it on. I have my middle daughter who puts ranch on everything. Loves ranch, and then I have, and they did that to me with ketchup too. They love ketchup, and they've kind of turned me off on ketchup and ranch dressing. Plus, I've always been sort of one of those folks that, I'm getting a drink of my juice here. I've always been a person that doesn't like, what's the word, umami? I like more umami flavors, like more of a earthy flavors. So ranch just totally is not in my wheelhouse. I mean, it's all right. I don't begrudge anybody from eating it, but it just it's not my bag. Let's get these turned up just a little bit, just a touch. But yeah, we got the Wagner griddle again this morning, and we'll see how that goes. Let's get our butter around, because I'm gonna butter this up. And I switched this around. If you can't tell that, I've been doing the meat on this side, so it's really starting to darken up on this side. And I've been doing like breads and different stuff down on that side, so we're gonna switch it around this morning, and hopefully it doesn't overrun, because my stove was kind of off-centered. My stove itself is pretty level, but my burners were weird because the drip pans were weird. They didn't fit exactly right, so I just got new drip pans on here on a couple days. Yesterday I put those in, and so it's flattened it out like back again. So I'm hoping that it doesn't run as forward. This is kind of an experiment here this morning for me. Now firing, please. Val, are you a cop? Val's a cop. Uh-oh. Let's see. We'll just throw some butter on here. Got the butter on here. That's one thing I tell when people. I know most people in here that are in here right now are cast iron folks. But I have a lot of people ask me, they're like, what do you use to season your stuff? And I'm like, well, I cook on it. And I cook a lot of like egg type stuff. And I cook a lot of like breads and stuff on there for a while. And that seems to work out pretty decent. So let's ball up a little bit of this sausage, and I'll get those, because I'm not going to make the little teeny patties. I'm going to make some big stuff here this morning. Probably about a 4-ounce size, 4-ounce little ball. And make some decent sized patties for this. And I'm going to make one or two of those. There we go. Put that down. Yeah, there we go. Got my paper right here. Paper there. And we got our grill press. And I don't want to press it to death. I just want it to be kind of burgerish. I don't need a smash burger, but just sort of a burger. But I want a nice sized patty. Let's see, checking to see if anybody's in there. Ronald Coward, good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you? And the nice thing about these pancakes as well is I can give them to the dog. The beagle gets I'll make the beagle a little short stack this morning as well. Because she's due for breakfast. She's ready for some breakfast too. We got up kind of late today. Usually I get up about, I mean a lot of days it depends, but usually on the weekends I get up about 7. And today we slept till about 9ish. About 9 o'clock, and that's not our usual MO. So we're kind of running behind a little bit. We'll get that first one out of the way, and then I'll do the pancake. And let that griddle side kind of heat up. Valley S, good morning, how are you? So you're working in the kitchen as well? No, thanks for listening. You can probably, I don't know if you guys can hear, I got the AM radio going this morning, my AM jams. Grab got my spatula. I'm bringing out the heavy duty spatula this morning. My dad made this spatula out of, he worked at the tank plant, at the Abrams M1 tank plant. He was a hatch designer, worked in the hatch department. So I'm using, this is hatch steel that he made, that he used to use on the grill. I don't use it very often, but I thought I'd break it out for Sunday breakfast today. That was his grilling. That was his grilling. Check this. See how it's going. Yeah, that's what we did. But my dad being an inventor, see how easy that went through there? It's got a really nice weight. It's really heavy. But that sausage is looking nice. But we'll get one of those patties done, and then all that. Happy Sunday. Yeah, happy Sunday to you too, Ronald. It's kind of, I hope somebody's got some good weather. I know I don't have good weather today. It's going to be an indoor kind of day. Probably a tax day. Well, I'm going to do a couple of these and test them out so that I'll get the beagle on some of these. Give her the old short stack for the short stack. There we go. Short stack gets a short stack. And like I said, there's no sugar. And I mean, now eventually I'm going to throw some syrup on this because I'm kind of have an addiction to blueberry syrup. And I got this stuff. I got this at Cracker Barrel not too long ago. And this is, it's not homemade, but it's pretty darn close. There's no corn syrup in it, which I like. I try to stay away from the corn syrup solids. But yeah, I mean, it's got some, you know, it's got a preservative in it. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward blueberry syrup. And it's really, it's tasty. This is our second bottle of that. So I'm pretty down with the with that blueberry syrup. A couple more. I think we'll do 3 for the beagle. Biggs gets 3. Plus she always gets it's kind of a house tradition, she gets the experimental first pancakes. And it keeps her out of my hair while I'm trying to do something. Rain and sleet. And I'm sorry, Radagast, what part of the country are you in? You don't have to give your town or anything, but what part of the country are you in? Of course it is, Rusty. Of course it is. Beags cakes, yeah, these are Beags cakes. Beags cakes, yeah, I'll have to remember that one, because that's definitely what that one is. Keep that from splattering too much on everything. See how the other side looks to that. Yeah. Oop, almost lost that one. Got a jumper. Might throw that on through the that back on there and let that center get done. It kind of went and umbrellaed on me a little bit. Laying under Port Maitland, Ontario, Canada, or is it Maitland? Oh, well, hello in Canada. Nice to see you, Minnesota. Yeah, we got a little heat coming up a little bit on the experimental beefsteaks. The beefsteak, that's cracking me up. Escaping sigh, I know. Almost got away from me. But these are pretty heavy. I forget what these weigh, like 2 pounds? I think they're like 2 pounds. So that should hold it down in the middle. But it shouldn't take much to get it done. That sausage blend, if you're down with the seasonings that I showed earlier, it is a good sausage. It does make a decent sausage. I will say that. I have no complaints. And I also like it because it doesn't have the maple syrup in there. There, that's almost where I want it. I like the sausage a little. I don't mind if my sausage is a little bit overdone. I know some people are all about the moisture levels and this and that and having that center, but yeah, Valley S, I highly recommend getting one of these griddles. The seasoning on them is not amazing. And that's one of the reasons I think that Stargazer is the one that makes these, or has something to do with it. Not because of the smoothness that Stargazer has, but their seasoning doesn't seem to be, from what I've heard from people, even after they change it, the pre-seasoning comes with it, it isn't that great. But I don't think any pre-seasoning is that amazing, to be honest with you. I don't think Lodge's in the last 4 or 5 years, I don't think their pre-seasoning is that great. I don't think pre-seasoned pans I don't think the hype is really there, to be honest with you. I don't think it's there, to me, in my experience. I could be, other people could weigh in on that, but I really don't think that there. See, that looks a lot better. Just needed a little bit under pressure, as David Bowie would say. It's under pressure. Or was that Queen? I think it was Queen. I'm not a huge Queen guy. Yeah, but I would highly. There's a lot of price point arguments about these, whether or not that they're worth it, but you can get a griddle for $120 online, and then you got to reseason it. You got to do all that. And my daughter got me this for Christmas, and like a lot of kids her age, a lot of people her age, she knows how to find stuff, work the internet pretty well, and she got a $50 off coupon for this. So she only paid it's $240 retail, but she got it for $190, and that included the shipping. So I mean, it's not terrible, I don't think. I mean, you can a Finex one's going to be a heck of a lot more than that. So put that off to the side. Yeah, that's Queen and Bowie. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think you're right on that one. That was their big collab back in the day. She doesn't know yet, but she's getting a hammered. Wow, that's a pretty good way to start. Ronald Coward, that's a really good way to start. Your Lodge press is 3.5 pounds. Is that like this one? Is that the same as this deal that I'm rocking right here? Do another. Oh shoot, I forgot the pancake. Those are done. That one there. Said about another. About a half pound. About a half pound of sausage altogether. There you go. Leaves that. These gloves. I go through a lot of these gloves. It's like a monthly expenditure. There we go. And I'll give these a flip. These beefsteaks. So she can make her appearance. That little front burner doesn't seem to be. It's bubbling, but it doesn't seem to be going too high. But like I said, I just changed those over the other day, yesterday. So that one's done. I'd say that one's pretty good. We'll play around with that for a second. Oh, we've already been here for 45 minutes. That's crazy. Too very handy. Let's see here. Keep my wagon griddle on the stove in the garage. Yeah. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it, and it's got all the features that I like. It's got the reinforced bottom. It's got all the features there that you really want with a griddle, and it's not overly heavy. And the thing I like about it is, with a lot of the Lodge griddles and the other griddles that are out there, it's got the damn griddle bottom, or the grill bottom. So even if you don't use, and I hate cleaning grill pans, that's why I don't have any. And it just seems like no matter, even if I throw my Lodge ones on there, and I've got 2 or 3 other Lodge long griddles, 3 or 4, and I always end up having to clean the grill bottom on there, whether I want to or not. And with this, you just clean the bottom and it's done. Let's see. No, it's not reversible. Which is that, yeah, it's what I'm kind of talking about right now. It's just, I'm not really a big fan of the grill side, the grill bottoms. I don't need one. I don't need them. They don't come into play very often for whatever reason. They just don't. And I end up having to clean those, and I absolutely hate them. I think if I do make it to Cornbread Fest, I think I am going to try and get a grill pan from one of the Lodge ones, the Wildlife series, because that's about the only, I don't have the trout pan, and that's like the only one that I'm missing so far, is the trout pan. I might get one just to get one if I can get it in the second section. Yeah, I keep getting this one, and I like this one, and the thing I like about this one as well is it doesn't like a lot of my vintage ones, like my Wapoks, they kind of lay over my burners because they really aren't designed for electric, and so then I've got it sitting on one that's sort of uneven, and then not on the other side. So there we go. Pancakes are looking a little better. About time to pancake it up. Put those off to the side for the big. Do her short stack. No butter. No butter, no syrup. She lives a pretty bland lifestyle. There you go. Short stack for the beagle. For the short stack. There we go. And beagle, breakfast is ready. There you go. I'm gonna figure that one out. Do a little beagle cam. There you go, beagle cam. She's getting her pancakes, checking outside. She's been on squirrel patrol a lot this morning. There's been a lot of birds. I set some stuff out for the birds to pick up some string and stuff off the patio, and the robins have been out there picking their stuff up this morning. So she's been all up on that. Do my pancake. There we go. Got about all the sausage I need today. That'll be my sausage quota. See how that turns out. See how these pancakes turn out. Well, one burner since I changed that over wasn't one to get so hot. Well, hopefully it's kind of caught up to the other side. Let's see. You noticed your trivet's so nice. Yeah, that's my. I do have the goodies. A lot of stuff. I like to keep a lot. I'm a kitchen person. So I love kitchen gadgets and I like kitchen, just being in the kitchen. So I have a lot of, I just like to keep the kitchen pretty fun. That's where I spend most of my time. Whether I'm eating or making stuff or just kind of hanging out, listening to the ball games, I'm always sort of in the kitchen. Yeah, and that's where I grew up like that. My grandma was always in the kitchen and she had a table in the kitchen that was just kind of big enough for 2 people to eat at, but it had 4 chairs. So that was it was almost like a bistro table where everybody just sort of hung out. And everybody just sort of hung out in the kitchen. She was one of those grandmas that she had the police, she lived in the city, so she had the police scanner and AM radio going, and she just kind of hung out in front of this kitchen sink all day, drank coffee and beer. Yeah, I'm a kitchen gadget guy. I love kitchen gadgets. And I was so lucky. I've still got some of my grandma's other kitchen gadgets, like stuff that she got off of carts from back in the day. I mean, I got stuff that literally came off of carts, you know, where people would go around and people would come around with the carts and sell stuff off the carts, and so I still have a lot of that kind of stuff. I have juicers and little gadgets that people would sell, can openers, things like that. Let's see, Valies. Do you do a lot of baking too? How about your cast iron bakeware? Yeah, Tinkers, Ronald, exactly. I'm getting into baking a lot more. We always baked like kind of the basics. But I do like doing pie. Pie is like one of my favorite things to make. Cakes are okay. We're not big cake people for whatever reason. We just nobody here eats a lot of cake, so I don't make a lot of cake type stuff. But I do like this week. I'm thinking that this week we're going to do some actual baking for Thursday. I'm thinking cheesecake and I got rhubarb that I've got to use out of the freezer from last year's rhubarb plants. And I'm thinking some rhubarb rhubarb crisp would be a good one. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun to do. So I'm thinking that we're gonna do some cheesecake this week, and I think we're gonna do some rhubarb crisp to get rid of the rhubarb. And I've got some pheasant that I'm working that's in the freezer from last hunting season. So I'm wanting to do something with that pheasant. So I've been kind of thumbing through. Frank from Montana sent me a game. He and I've said this before, but maybe not everybody's heard it. But Frank is a hunter out in Montana, and he published a cookbook, a wild game cookbook, and I was very lucky that he blessed me with a few of those. So I've been thumbing through those the last couple days while I was watching TV, and so I'm trying to figure out a good recipe for that pheasant, because for here, the grilling out is still kind of like hit and miss, so I can't plan it for anything. But I'm trying to find a good recipe to do some baking of the pheasant that we got last fall, and that's got to get used up too. So I'll be doing I'm hoping to do some pheasant here in one of the lives. Because normally when I do pheasant, the way I do it is I smoke it for a few hours and then I grill it. But like I said, the outdoors, it's kind of hit or miss right now. It's springtime in Ohio, so it could be 75 degrees, or it could be, 35 degrees and raining. But I think a nice bake. I'm gonna figure out a way to bake some pheasant and do that. Maybe a bake, like kind of like a oh, what's the one Julia Child does with the rice? Chicken and rice. I always butcher the name of it. Pheasant under glass. I've heard of that. I've never had it. Like I said, I pretty much every year I just sort of smoke it, and the pheasant when we do get them, I smoke it for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, and then I finish it off on the grill, and that seems to be kind of a hit around here. So I keep that going. How was your pancakes, Biggs? Did you love them? And I'm gonna set this pork off to the side. Excuse me, Biggs. So I can plate this up. Let me wipe my spot off real quick, so I can bring my plate over. Because this is getting wrapped up. But yeah, I think this week, I'm gonna do, I had that really good recipe for using the Lodge loaf pan to do cheesecake. And that works really, really well. That works phenomenal. That's like the best, that's some of the best cheesecake I've ever had. And it's small, so you're not stuck with 8 to 12 pieces of cheesecake. Let's see. I'm from Ohio. I moved to Arkansas last June. But you're from Dayton. Okay. Yeah, I'm about an hour from Dayton. Like literally an hour from Dayton. I'm like right off 75 north. A little ways. Pretty much, like I was saying to one of the folks that was on yesterday that's from Lancaster, I live in basically the Indian Lake area. That's where I live, around in there. Let's see here. I put this over where the pork was, so hopefully that doesn't stick. It shouldn't, but I might have to play with it a little bit to get it off there. We're still breaking this bad boy in. Let's see, Indian Lake, been through there many times. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. My parents live over that way. That's where they're at. Is in that area. Is the Indian Lake area. Lived there for years. I grew up on the other side of that. There we go. That is a little sticky though from that pork. Even though there wasn't any sugar in there, it's still kind of sticky. Yeah, Indian Lake's nice. I grew up there. I grew up camping down there and all that kind of stuff. I love it. Those are coming up nice. I think I'm gonna do 3 of those. I think 3 of those will be perfect. And then I'm gonna smash some breakfast. There we go. That side's working really good. Better than I was just, it must have heard me bitching about it. Because I was like, hey, we're doing okay. You're the one with the problem. Operator error, my dad used to say. Let's see, throw a little butter on that. I think the Biggs is over here hawking me for another pancake, so I think I'm gonna hook her up. Cause we got a break in the rain here in about a half an hour, so she can have her lunch and breakfast. Then we'll do a McGriddle. I thought about McGriddles. I've never had a McGriddle. I think when they put the syrup in those, right? Like the syrup's in the actual the griddle part of the cake. That's not gonna work out. That's too sticky right there. And I don't want to oil that again. Yeah, we'll just leave that set. We'll just leave that side settle. We'll just work down here on these pancakes. Dip it in the syrup. Yeah. Yeah, but I've never had a McGriddle. I mean, I see them. They're what? They're sausage and it's got the syrup in the batter. Is that in that way? Like when you pour the batter and then drip some syrup in there. That's pretty much how that'd work. Isn't that what they got going on? Yeah, something. Yeah, it seems all right. I mean, I'd eat it. I just never, I'm really boring when it comes to when I go to like fast food places. Like I get pretty much anywhere I go, I kind of get the number one, no matter what. I'm just kind of boring like that. I think I'll give this one to the Bigs because she's hawking me, and it didn't really. I've got standards. I've got pancake standards. It's got to be aesthetic, Bigs. You don't understand aesthetics, so you can. You just like Pancake, and yours has got it's on the pork side too, so she should like that even better. So I'll set that one. I'll let that kind of marinate on there a minute. Yeah, it's a big cake. She's got a big appetite. I had to. Meg and I the other day we weren't going back and forth, but we were talking about it the other day. She's like, man, this dog's always hungry. And I'm like, well, dogs are scavengers by nature. They never get full. They'll eat and eat and eat, and as fast as they can. Kind of what's left over from the wild, I think. They're scavenger animals. That's how they've survived all these hundreds of thousands of years. The big cake, yeah, exactly. She's a cake, all right. See how that looks. Yeah, that's cool. I'll set that on my plate and let it cool down. Because she will eat it whether it's hot or it isn't. Put that on there. Turn that one off. I don't need it anymore. Oh yeah, those are coming out nice. They're coming out really nice. I really recommend that recipe. That's like I said, I really stripped it down. And they come out nice and fluffy. You got that baking soda, you got the salt in there as your leavening agent. So they come out nice and fluffy. A lot of pancakes, buttermilk pancakes, they're kind of flat. But this comes out nice and fluffy. So these do actually work out pretty good. I've never had a McRib either. I've never had that. Yeah, I've never had the McRib. I don't know. That might be one. I found out the other day, Ming and I were talking, and we were talking about McDonald's. She's never had a Big Mac. And she said, I think I'm going to go through my life so I can say that I've never had a Big Mac. I don't know. I don't know if that's a goal or not. Big Macs are pretty good. I'd like to be able to recreate the sauce. Going back to yesterday where we did the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, and the sauce that I was talking about. I was kind of thumbing around with that, thumbing through stuff to see what I could find out about it, and yeah, the one I made at home it was no good, and that's what I was starting to talk about yesterday. It's kind of like Big Mac sauce. You can make it at home and you can try all the different ways, but it's still just not Big Mac sauce. It still just doesn't hit like the Big Mac does. It just doesn't hit like the Big Mac does. And I've done that. I've made homemade Big Mac sauce a few different times. And I've used the ones where it says, yeah, this is just like what they use at McDonald's. And it doesn't seem to come out. And like I was saying yesterday, I think as far as like McDonald's goes, when it comes to fried potato, like French fries and their sauces, and the other thing I like their tartar sauce on their fish, on the filet of fish. I will rock filet of fish occasionally. And that's one of my go-tos at McDonald's. And I've tried to make their at-home tartar sauce before. And I've done all the I've done 3 or 4 different kinds of recipes for that, and they just never seem to hit like they do when you're there. Let's see. Give these off to the Bigs. Bigs, here you go. Pancake day. Pancake day. Big pancake day for a little dog. Get some syrup going in there. Oh yeah. There we go. But if you can see that syrup that I was talking about, I just dumped a little bit on there. And it actually, it just comes out and it's big clumps of blueberry. Nice big clumps of blueberry in there. Like a little in between, so you don't just have to get the stuff on the top. I'm gonna try while I'm sitting here before these get too cold. Actually, I'm gonna sit and throw these back on and heat them back up for just a second. There we go. I'm gonna heat those back up until that pancake's done. And that side's off, so it's not gonna burn them. Yeah, I mean, if you're down for tartar sauce, their tartar sauce is pretty darn good. It there we go. Some of those kind of pretty it up a little bit. Just kind of heat these back up. Right. Normally I'd be done with this, but I get to talking and doing everything else while I'm doing these, and stuff kind of goes to the side. Kevin Long, good morning. Good morning, sir. Let's see. But yeah, I really dig on a fillet of fish. And they always have here since Lent's been going on. They have the nice 2 for $5 going on Fridays. So that's always good. If I'm out and about and I need some lunch, I've hit that a couple times during Lent now. Let me see. Trying to catch up with the comment section, sorry. Let's see, get this kind of lined back up. I don't want to touch it too much. I don't want to touch this too much or I'll get the green screen again. I learned my lesson about the green screen. And that's so weird because when I edit videos and I've tried messing with green screen, I can just pop that right back off. You can, when you're editing a video, you can do that. But when I was trying to do it, when it came on the other day, I was like, okay, well it's just gonna screw stuff up for a second. But that went and wouldn't go away. It just wouldn't stop. So the only way I could get rid of it was just to really just dump the stream. And that sucked because that was like right at the best part where we were getting ready to reveal the lasagna, the skillet lasagna. And I tell you what, if you want a recipe for a good skillet lasagna, that is really, really good lasagna. Yeah, don't touch the buttons. The dreaded green screen, yeah. Yeah, don't touch anything. It's like my dad always told me, just quit touching stuff. Whatever you do, just quit. And he's like, my dad would say, whatever you just did, stop. Don't do that. I will tell you what, and I was seeing people do cast iron. I started seeing people doing a cast iron lasagna videos. Like that it kind of was a trend about a month ago. And I started looking at the recipes and I'm like, I do that anyway. Like that's how I've been making this skillet lasagna for a coon's age, And it's so good. And when you watch me do these or watch somebody do these on video on a live video, you don't get the luxury of editing and all this other stuff. So you're dealing with process and all that kind of stuff. But it is really quick. I mean, you do 15 minutes once you get everything in there, and you put your lasagna noodles. It's 15 minutes in there, and then you kind of stir the noodles around. You get then you flip those noodles over for 10 minutes. Drop in, put your ricotta cheese, and you dollop it in there and cover it back up. And your ricotta cheese mixture, I should say, which there's not much to that. Just add in some other cheese, or just use straight ricotta cheese with some salt, and that works out too. And you bake it for 10 minutes, and then the last 2 minutes put it under the broiler heat on high or low depending on your stove, and it comes out and it's phenomenal. I mean, you really you can't go wrong with that. I think that's done. It looks a little more washed out on the screen for whatever reason. but it's golden brown here. So I'm going to butter this last one and give this the old taste test. Turn these off, slap some butter. Nice, real unsalted butter on this bad boy. Let that sit, we'll put that over there. Move this over to the plating area. That sausage smells so good. I'm ready for that. And I'm gonna break off, while I'm letting that butter melt, I'm gonna rip off a piece for the beags to do the trick. You ready, Beagle? It's that time. Come here. Come here. There you go. Come here. You get a spin? Spin? There you go. All right. There we go. She knows other tricks, but that one, that one's no fail. That one's a no fail trick. Let's see, my mom should, you don't, oh, let's see. So we'll just go with a little bit more of this syrup on there. And you can see the whole blueberry in there. If I shook it up, it'd probably be a little bit better, but I don't. Give that a little shake. There we go. Yeah, it's got some nice blueberry pieces in there. Set that back off to the side. And I'll get myself a knife. And we'll give it a taste test. It should be ready to go. I don't know if dogs can have blueberry or not. But we'll get that. We'll get the combo. We'll get a little bit of everything here. Some sausage. And some pancake. And I don't need that much. I don't need that much pancake. But yeah, this came out pretty good. They're kind of waterlogged with the stuff, but yeah, they got a nice fluff to them. Hopefully I can get it to my mouth without dropping it. Mmm. Yeah, that's not bad. And the sausage is good like that. And there's no, I mean, I know I just dumped like 3 tablespoons of syrup on it, but there's no sugar in the rest of that, which is kind of nice because there's sugar in about everything. Wash it down with a little bit of coffee. Blueberry syrup is just, it's phenomenal. You know, blueberries are in my freeze dryer as we speak. Making, yeah, that would, yeah, that'd be really good. Let's see, I'll take home maple syrup, warm it in the pan, and add blueberries mashed up a little and stirred. Yeah, that sounds, that's great. You can save the pieces stuck in the beard for later. Yeah, I probably do. Beard struggles, man. Beard struggles. You know. Let's see. Love blueberries with breakfast. Yeah, blueberries. I thought about making the blueberry, putting blueberries in the batter, but I didn't get around to it. And plus, sometimes with blueberries, like in stuff, like I have a blueberry sausage that I pick up once in a while from Kroger. And it leaves like a really weird layer of blueberry juice on like freshly seasoned cast iron. And since I'm still breaking the Wagner in, I didn't want to have that because I don't know why blueberries do it, because I don't have problems with other fruits that do that. But blueberries, they just have this like they'll make like a layer on your newly seasoned cast iron. And it's like, you gotta have a jackhammer to get that stuff off sometimes. Like it did it to one of my Pickwood favorite pans. I did that blueberry sausage in there. And boy, I had just done that pan. And it put a layer of that blueberry stuff on there. And it took me a minute to get that back off there. And that's the other thing I like with using ground pork to do my sausage is that you get more of a meatier flavor. It's not that sweet. It's more like, I don't know. It's just a meatier flavor than getting like a summer sausage or a sausage with smoke and sugar and stuff like that. And it's just, it's like, it's heartier, I guess. Mm. But I will admit, because I try not to make stuff up as I go or make things sound better than they are, letting those sit like that, they did kind of dry up a little bit, to be completely transparent. Mm. Those pancakes are really good. Definitely something to try. Let's see, ketchup on these here. Blueberries, no meal. Yeah, blueberries are great. They're not really a standalone fruit, at least in my opinion, but man, you add blueberries to something and it takes it up. It definitely goes next level if you do a good blueberry right. Can you do the Roman number? Yeah, the name of my beard company, my beard products company, is Seven Shamrocks Beard Company. So I got that for the Seven Shamrocks Beard Company. Yeah, and I've had it for years when I started doing that. Yeah. So Seven Shamrocks Beard Company is the name of the beard part of the wax company, because there's like division. There's kind of like I've sectioned it off into divisions. I've got the whole thing is Seven Shamrocks Wax Company, and that's what Cast Iron Cure is made under, and then the beard, the beard part of it is Seven Shamrocks Beard Company. So that's the thing with the sevens. There's a lot of sevens around here at the garages. There's a lot of sevens with all that stuff. A lot of T-shirts that have had sevens on them over the years. And yeah, there's even some merch on eBay as well for Seven Sham. And if anybody's interested in the beard products, I do sell those on eBay as well. There's all different kinds of scents. I think there's like, depending on the season, there's usually about 10 different scents. And this is my claim to fame as far as the beard products go. I am the original vanilla tobacco. I'm the first person to ever come out with the vanilla tobacco beard stuff. That's my baby. So I'm like the original person. My bay rum is fantastic. That's my go-to is the bay rum. I do the bay rum and I do the lime. Those are my two favorites, and they're all real. Just to give a little shameless plug to the beard stuff, there's no artificial scenting in the beard products. It's all essential oils or natural. There's no scent oil. There's no fragrance oil in it. It's all essential oily scented. So pure you could almost eat it, but don't. Yeah, man, it's on eBay. I ship for free. It's all relatively inexpensive. There's bundle deals, 210 bundle deals, 210 bundle deals, beard oil balm and oil sets that are cheaper. I've always tried to keep it cheap, but unfortunately with shipping going up and the prices of everything going up, I'm going to have to actually bump my prices up for the first time in. Literally, I'm going to have to bump up my prices in the next 6 months for everything across the board for the first time in 10 years, because I can't do it. I can't keep the prices at that anymore. Because the shipping cost is not even product cost. Shipping goes up every time I turn around. The shipping cost goes up on everything. Like, I know, thanks, Smoking Bears. Yeah, you, actually, Smoking Bears, I just saw that you did have an order that went out a couple weeks ago. So thank you for that one. That was appreciated. Yeah, shipping rates. I know when I first started doing this 11 years ago, I could ship out a package of beer, like say 2 tins of beer. Let's say a tin of cast iron cure, a 2 ounce tin. I could ship that out for $2.10. Now to ship something out, it's almost $5 in 10 years. It's insane. So I just can't keep because I try to include everything in there. I don't charge people a separate handling and shipping rate for anything cast iron cure. None of that. It's all included. But yeah, but the shipping is just unreal. So I'm gonna have to bump things up here pretty soon. Hey Val, well be careful. Don't listen too hard. Thank you very much, Val. Yes, I appreciate it. And I think this year, once I used to do a lot of festivals where I would set stand, I had booths and stuff up, and I think this year, toward the middle of summer and fall, I'm gonna get back out there and start pushing everything again, because I miss doing that stuff. I miss doing the festivals, and I miss being out there and seeing the public and promoting the products, because I really believe in them. That's the thing. I've tried to change my life, and as far as like not change, like I don't want to sound like one of these people, but to live a more natural lifestyle and take a lot of the unnecessary products and pesticides and things like that out of my life. And one of the ways I started doing it was to start making my own stuff, and it just sort of went from there. And I really stand behind all the products I make. Let me get another bite of this sausage. Because once again, I came in and didn't eat anything this morning. Yeah, Val, thank you. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it. We actually picked up a lot of. I actually picked up a lot of subscribers this weekend. More than normal. So, as Val is at McDonald's getting a McGriddle. Yeah. They sound good. I mean, they always sound like they're pretty good. I just never had one. But yeah, I picked up a lot of subscribers this week, which is I was kind of sitting at one number for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it jumped up. So I'd like to. I don't do it for subscribers and views. I do it to have fun. But there's a lot. Once you hit 500 subscribers, it makes it. It kind of helps. It kind of gets the reach out there, and then I can do more stuff. Like right now, I can't do until I get 500 subscribers. I can't add a link to anything because I have to meet so many requirements. So that's why I push. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I won't push it as much. But I'm trying to get to that plateau so I can add my links and all that kind of thing. That coffee was really good. There's nothing like some actual house coffee. I think yeah, it might have. The lasagna was that was a good video. I really wish that green screen thing hadn't happened. But even the replay, that got a couple hundred views. So when I came back in for the last part of it, the last 15 minutes or whatever it was, 10 minutes. So that even got a few hundred reviews, or some good views. So I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, so share it with your friends, share it with your family, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I think I'm going to start wrapping it up because I'm going to eat, and my sausages they're already cold. But I hope everybody this weather's looking pretty rough. I've in the other room I can see the weather radar is going, and everybody's getting kind of. If you're living down south, man, you're getting slammed. Yeah, see you, Smoking Bear. See you next week. And as the creamer, yeah, man, there's coconut. One of the coffees that I use is the Don Francisco Hawaiian Hazelnut. That is one that I do like. That's a flavored coffee. That's coconut hazelnut. And that's pretty banging. It's pretty good stuff. All right, great. Thanks, Valley. Yes, I appreciate you. Yep, Rick, man, no problem. I'm glad it was good, fun to have breakfast. I don't know how often we'll do the weekend ones, but it was just fun. I wanted to try. I just had some stuff I wanted to throw out there, like the pancake recipe. That pancake recipe. Trust me. I know I didn't put the vanilla on the card, but add a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla to the recipe, and that's fantastic pancake batter. And the McDonald's recreate. I just didn't want to do those during the week. It's nobody wants to have an egg McMuffin on the Thursday night, usually. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys roll on out, and we will see you Thursday. We'll do the cheesecake. We're gonna do a cheesecake on Thursday in the Lodge loaf pan, so that'll be a little different. And then what's the other thing? And then I might do the rhubarb crisp if I don't make my rhubarb before Thursday. I might be able to throw that in as a bonus. Usually I try to do one or two things instead of just one. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, yep. Lower Michigan Adventures. Hello. Good morning. Good to see you. Hit the like button. Really appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna finish my breakfast and then get on with my day. I got a lot of stuff like everybody else. Sunday is a day of rest, but I still have some things to do. So we will see you later on in the week. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. Pat Z, we'll see you later, buddy. Glad you could show up.